Just a few more floors to go and I'll be done. Well, a lot is happening in the news lately, and it just keeps getting more interesting. So I guess now we're running Venezuela? I mean, to be fair, was anybody really beforehand? Let's take a look. We got some interesting things going on here. Okay, so this is from the Daily Mail. So Donald Trump authorized a strike into Venezuela that allowed the capture of their president, Nicolás Maduro. Sorry, dude, if I'm butchering your name. I almost never get drug dealers' names right, no matter how hard I try. They're always named Bill. I don't know why. Anyway. So, what's going on? Well, Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised a little bit to an extent. This is a great article, by the way. I'm not really going to be reading through this whole thing. I'm not Tim Pool. I did not expect this. I figured it was all a maneuvering game, basically threatening him to do whatever he wanted, whatever Trump wanted him to do. I didn't actually think we'd go in and take the guy. From what I can gather, there were no casualties on the American side, although they're claiming people were hurt on the Venezuelan side, possibly. But from what I can see here, the military of Venezuela went mostly like, oh no, they got him. We are so sad. What a terrible tragedy. Yeah. That was I think that's pretty much their response. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've heard different, I'd love to hear about it. But I don't think that this is what they're they're feeling any anger toward Trump, really. This article goes over to adding Colombia to the same kind of list as Venezuela, basically terroristic drug dealing nations. Probably, yeah. This had mainly to do, I think, with the fact that now this is not a new development. The Venezuelan president has been on an arrest warrant for years now. Before Trump was even president, the second time around, there was a reward out for his arrest. So this is not like, oh, they want to arrest this guy, and it's Trump just taking over. No, not really. He's been under the eyes of law enforcement for a long time, and now it's just finally catching up with him. Now, I don't think this is the best way to do things, but, this might work. The sad thing is it might work. I'm not really a fan of going to war, and this is definitely a good way to start one. But right now, I think Trump put the fear of God into just about every nation in the Western Hemisphere. They're like, he might just come in and take us if we don't listen. And do you hear a whole lot of worldwide condemnation, anything other than lip service about, oh no, Trump shouldn't do that? You hear anything more than that? I don't hear much. You don't see sanctions being put on America by China and Russia, do you? You don't see calls for war. You don't. These people are terrified. I think Trump was also talking about going down to Cuba, doing the same thing. Honestly, probably not a bad idea. Probably a very easy thing to do, really. If I was Trump, that's probably what I would do. So if Cuba doesn't start listening and being more free and open, then maybe it might happen to them. Who knows? It would very much be easy for that to happen in Cuba. They don't have the Russians really to back them anymore. It's not like America and Russia are at the best of terms. So it's not like we really care what Russia thinks right now. Russia can barely invade Ukraine, so why bother to try and invade America? They're no threat anymore. The Chinese make too much money in America, so they're definitely not going to say anything other than, lip service. Donald Trump, when asked who's in charge, he said, I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial. And the reporter clarified, what does that mean? It means we're in charge. Wow. I mean, he's not wrong. See, Donald Trump is saying the quiet parts out loud. And I kind of like it. It's refreshing to hear them talk about the truth. It's just amazing. I love it. I'm not really a fan of all this calls for war. He goes back. This article goes back into taking over Greenland. I don't know what they're doing here, but okay. There's one part of this article I thought was great. Now, Trump also, I'm going to read this part right here. Trump has pointed out the 19th century Monroe Doctrine, which rejects European colonialism, as well as the Roosevelt corollary, a justification evoked by the U.S. in supporting Panama's secession from Colombia, which helped secure the Panama Canal for the U.S. as he's made his case for an assertive approach to American neighbors and beyond. The Monroe Doctrine is sold as a protection of the Western Hemisphere's countries from Europe. When in reality, it's more we decide what's good for the Western Hemisphere and not Europe. That's really what the Monroe Doctrine really meant, which is exactly what Trump's doing. He's making sure that he's putting his foot down and saying, look, this is our territory, and there's no invitation for China or Europe to come in here. And that's really what he's doing. But the next sentence is the best thing. Trump has even quipped that some now refer to the fifth president's foundational document as the Monroe Doctrine. Wow. The Monroe Doctrine. I love it. It is hilarious. The Monroe Doctrine. That is great. That is some best, naming that I've ever seen. So, the Monroe Doctrine. I'm not going to get over that. So, is this a good thing? Is this really going to help? Probably. Venezuela is already basically about as poor as it can get. They're not really going to do much else. This might help them. Trump has said that we're sending in American companies to go in and make money off the oil, and we're kind of taking the oil. Probably. That's exactly what we all said was happening in Iraq and Afghanistan. Well, not really Afghanistan, mostly Iraq. And now it's just the quiet part out loud. Oh, we're going in and taking the oil. Yep. I can't tell if Trump's actually in charge here, or is this the military just going, hey, we're going to do this, and Trump really can't say nothing about it. But if he does, maybe we'll do the same to him. I don't know. Most likely the military is not calling the shots. This sounds like a Donald Trump kind of thing. You see, people look at Donald Trump and they've been trying to figure him out. He wrote The Art of the Deal. Honestly, I need to read that book. So he's good at negotiating things, but eventually in negotiations, people are going to call your bluff. You're going to be like, oh, you're not really going to, do all these things. Well, every now and then I kind of do. And Trump did it. Is it a good thing? Would I have done it? Probably not. But I think it might turn out okay. It shouldn't. But dang, if he doesn't find a way to turn everything to gold that he touches. More likely, if I was going to predict the future, I think that he will do the same in Cuba and the same in Colombia. Most likely Colombia. I don't know. I think both of those he'll probably do. He'll find a way. He'll push them until they can't push any. They push back. And the second they push back, he's going to go in and be like, well, look at this guy. He's a terrorist. We got to take him out. It is an excellent way of using the military to affect global change and not really actually have to invade anywhere. Now, Trump has said he's okay with boots on the ground. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think we should be fixing somebody else's nation. That's their problem, not ours. He probably will end up having to do this. The whole government finds a way to make a bunch of money doing that. So if Trump doesn't put boots on the ground, I'll be very surprised. It'd be a great thing if he could avoid that. I don't think it's a good idea, but most likely he will. I don't agree with it, but I don't agree with everything Trump does, but I do find him the most entertaining president I've ever seen, and I'm here for it. I can't wait to see the trial of this guy in an American court and try to see him defend himself once the evidence is out. Now, can they even bring evidence against him in an American court? I have no idea. Because some of this evidence may be acquired by the CIA, acquired illegally. I don't know. Does that apply in other countries? Like, if you are tried for crimes in America, do you still get the benefits of the Constitution? Or is this going to be tried as like a military-style trial? I'm curious to see that. I'd love to see a lawyer's reaction to this and see what they have to say, because it'd make a lot of sense if they tried him in a military type of trial and not in a American-style courtroom. But an American-style courtroom would be the most entertaining, because I don't think military ones are open to the public, although this one would have to be, for sure, to be above board, which it probably won't be. You'll never be able to get your rights. I mean, he probably has the right to privacy and the right to not be spied on. So the evidence we may have got of him may not be legal. I don't know. Anyway, what do you guys think? Should we have gone in? I kind of think we should. But may this all backfire. Maybe it's the worst decision. Maybe it's the best. I think it's the best, but hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. Anyway, have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time.